This is TSN. From Calgary, Alberta, this is TSN, Coast to Coast. Coming up on TSN Sports Desk, Gretzky hopes to make Vancouver feel the blues in his St. Louis debut. The new Flames look to ignite Calgary's playoff hopes. The Admiral goes airborne as the Raptors try not to be grounded again. O'Donnell leaves the Steelers and signs with the Jets in a blink of an eye. The Ottawa Roughriders hope Steve is tailor-made for their offense. Derek may be a middleman in Montreal to coin a phrase. And Canadian speed skaters gear up for what could be a golden weekend in Calgary. Hey, talk about shooting a perfect game? TSN Sports Desk is on the way.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our show. I'm Michael Lansford. The St. Louis Blues believe that Wayne Gretzky can once again be a dominant player. They believe it, and they are banking their season on it. Thursday night, they got their first look at Gretzky in blue as the Great One made his St. Louis debut in Vancouver. One of those really exciting nights. You just wanted to watch it and be a part of it. Wayne Gretzky looking sharp in his number 99 blue. Let's see how sharp he plays. Brett Hull, got to love this. And certainly Gretzky's got to love playing beside Brett Hull. And those two are a factor early on in the first period. It's already 1-0 for St. Louis. Brett Hull up to Stephane Matteau, up to Wayne Gretzky. And yes, a flair for the dramatic. He's always had it, and he buries it. 2-0 St. Louis. Gretzky scores in his debut game, but the Canucks come right back. Gorgeous deflection by Alexander McGillney. With that goal, he becomes just the second Canuck ever to score 50 in a season. The Canucks look for the equalizer with the third. Scott Walker drops it for Martin Gélina, but watch Grant Fuhr squeeze the pads. Fuhr played a huge game for St. Louis, but he can't stop them all. Third period, late, time winding down. McGillney spins and fires. What a player he is. Beautiful shot, top shelf. Score tied at 2. This one went into overtime, and it ended in a tie, but Wayne Gretzky with a goal in his debut looks like he's pretty happy. Final score, 2-2 St. Louis and Vancouver. Again, McGillney, the second Canuck to reach 50. The other one, of course, was Pavel Bure. The Blues' six-game road unbeaten streak, and they had to like the way things worked with Wayne Gretzky. And let's get more. Let's hear from the Great One with our Bob McKenzie.
Well, Wayne, by our count, close to 29 minutes of ice time tonight. That's considerably more than you were playing in Los Angeles. How'd your first game feel with the Blues?
Well, I loved every minute of it. I really enjoyed the pace and the intensity level, and players play hard, and I really had a lot of fun out there. I mean, it's something I look forward to. You know, as I said earlier, it's been a tough 2 days, and to get the first one out of the way and get the first goal out of the way, I feel really pretty good.
I would imagine that it's as much an emotional thing as it is a physical thing for you.
It is. It's been emotionally draining the last couple of days, and I don't care how long you played in the league, and I don't care what you've done. You know, when all eyes are on you, it's still nerve-wracking. And I know that I heard somebody say there's close to 800 press people come in, and you get nervous. I mean, I don't like to fail, and I don't like to let people down. And Mike Keenan has stepped forward, and the Blues have stepped forward, and I'm going to do the best I can to help them win. And yeah, I was nervous tonight. I'm glad the first one's over. Unfortunately for me now, the next two are going to be tough too. I go back to Edmonton, where it's always emotional for me, and then the first one at home. So I think once we get past these first 3 games, things will calm down. If
you were to break your game down tonight, what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
Well, I was pretty happy with my intensity as far as the speed of the game. You know, I'm used to playing 17, 18, 19 minutes, and to play 29 minutes at that pace and that level and playing against that line we played against, I felt pretty good out there. And I know I'm just going to get stronger as the games go on. I'm just going to get in better shape and in game shape, and I'm just going to feel better as we go along here. So I'm pretty happy about the way things went. I wish we would have won, but hey, take a point.
Well, great. Congratulations on your first night out, and now back to Sports Desk.
Wow. Maybe the best way to describe the Flames game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wow. This was the Flames' first game since the surprising deal which saw them send Phil Housley to the Devils for suspiciously little, but Calgary didn't seem to be lacking anything on Thursday night, and this guy is going to make him forget Phil Housley, but Tommy Albalene is a solid defenseman. Classic. Gary Roberts already 1-0 for Calgary. Watch Roberts take the cross-check in the back, but he gets up, works his way towards the net. Now watch the excellent backhand feed. This is superb isolation. Roberts in front, then goes forehand, backhand, sweeps it in. Beautiful play. 14th goal, 2-0 Calgary. Second period, the Pens can't clear. T-Top moves in, nifty backhand move. 3-0 Calgary. The Pens trailed at 4-0, 5-0. Eddie Johnson goes, you know, this 29th day of the month really stinks. They answer the caller in the third. Meanwhile, Trottier probably going, hey, I'll come out of retirement. Yager behind the net with a feed to Nedved. 5-1 hockey game, but that's as close as they could get. This was the Flames' best game of the year and maybe the best game in years. T-Top to Roberts, third of the night, third hat trick of the year. What a season, what a comeback season for Gary Roberts, and what a night for the Flames. 7-3 Calgary over Pittsburgh. Roberts 28 points in 21 games this season. Theo Fleury with 4 assists. Here's an important game. It's the Avalanche and the Blackhawks. These two could be battling in their division for some time. Patrick Waugh and company riding a 5-game winning streak, but their first power play does not do well. Jeremy Roenick strips Joe Sakic. He wheels his way to the center, gets his own rebound, and rattles it in. Just great hustle by JR. 1-0 for the Hawks. Jeremy Roenick, superb game, but the Colorado Avalanche come right back. I almost said Rockies. Forsberg to Adam Foote to Chris Simon, and Simon rattles one home, and that all ties it at 1. To the second period, the score is tied at 2. Foote with a point shot. Valerie Kamensky with a redirection right there into the corner. Kamensky with his 30th. Avalanche led it 3-2, but they can't hold it. Jeremy Roenick, watch him move in on Ozolic. He's flying. Roenick with a feed in front to a Monty. Gorgeous play by Roenick. Score tied at 3. And there's Dazed, and there's Daze. Waugh a little bit dazed in this play. Daze grabs it, throws it in front, and snapped home by Murray Craven. Bad cough up by Patrick Waugh, and a big, big victory by Chicago over Colorado, 4-3. The Hawks moved to within 3 points of Colorado for the second best record in the Western Conference. 4-3 Chicago over Colorado. The Avalanche first loss when leading after 2 periods. On the Red Wings schedule, it shouldn't say visitors, it should say suckers, because only a sucker is going to think that they've got a shot at winning at Joe Louis right now. Wings were home to the Islanders, and New York were facing these numbers. Detroit had lost twice all season at the Joe. That's 30 games, and they'd won 11 straight. And let's see if it continued. Mike Milbury got to be a little squeamish about this one. He needs some great goaltending, and he gets it early on. Larionov to Fedorov, but Tommy Soderstrom sprawls, makes the fine save. Maybe that's what the Islanders need. Time winding down in the first. Still scoreless. Ziggy Palffy corrals the puck past Coffey on the breakaway, and Palffy with a roofer on the backhand. 1-0 the Islanders after 1. Second period, the Wings are in 2-on-1. It's still a 1-0 game. Doug Brown buries it right there. Short side on Soderstrom. Score tied at 1. Now the Wings start to roll. Later on, Nicholas Lidstrom cutting through the slot. He's alone. Lidstrom with a great forehand move, 2-1. And shield your eyes in this one. I'll tell you, the glare off his forehead could blind you. That's Kirk Gibson. Ahead 3-1. Detroit adds another one. Paul Coffey cross ice to Dino Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli snaps one home in what looked to be a promising first period for the Islanders. Long gone. It was 4-1 at that point. It finished up 5-1. Detroit over the Islanders. The Red Wings' second 12-game home winning streak of the season. Osgood with his 9th straight victory. Detroit just continues to roll, as we will. To the Capitals and the Panthers. Doug McLean's team has been outscored 10-1 in their last 2 games, but he likes what he sees early on. Rob Niedermeyer lets one fly, and Ole the goalie can't stop it. 1-0 for Florida. But the Caps rookie Andrew Brunette gets that one back. Brunette beats John Van Beesbrook, first goal of his NHL career. Been waiting to say this. Maybe blondes don't have more fun. Maybe it's brunettes. Panthers then catch a break. Johan Garpenlov sends it in. Niedermeyer tips it. No chance for Kolzig. 2-1 for the Panthers. They got to start getting it back. This has been their poorest month. Penalty shot. Mike Huff is stoned by Kolzig. He sticks the big pad out. It remained 2-1 Florida in the closing stages. Brunette feeds it out front. Dale Hunter one chance. Dale Hunter another chance. Yes, he sweeps it in. And the Caps and the Cats play to a 2-2 tie. Panthers suffered their first losing month of the season, though, 4-5-3 in February. 2-2 Washington and Florida. The Maple Leafs released their playoff ticket prices. Primo tickets are up to more than $100 a pop. The Leafs, of course, want to sell a few of those, so they are doing whatever they can to ensure some playoff success. That meant another trade, this one with the New York Rangers, and here's how it worked. The Leafs get Wayne Presley and Nick Kyprios from the Rangers. Now the guy's going to help the slumping offense, to be sure. Presley's 30, has 10 points in 61 games for the Rangers. Kyprios is now 29 and is in the NHL for his toughness. Going to New York, Sergio Momesso and Bill Berg. Momesso's been a big disappointment since being acquired from Vancouver. Berg's been a useful and dedicated player in his time with the Maple Leafs. Meanwhile, in other hockey news involving the Maple Leafs, first, Toronto has learned that Dave Gagner will miss 2 weeks because of a sprained shoulder. Gagner was ridden heavily into the boards by Keith Tkachuk in the third period of Wednesday night's loss to the Winnipeg Jets, so he's out for a couple of weeks. Ranger defenseman Kevin Lowe will be out for at least 4 weeks. He suffered a strained groin in Tuesday's 5-3 loss to the Caps at Madison Square. Lowe has 1 goal and 5 assists in 51 games this season for the Rangers, and they'll miss his leadership to be sure. Pavel Bure's rehabilitation continued in Vancouver. He took the ice Thursday for a light skate. That's great news. He'll have an MRI in a couple of weeks, and he speculated on the possibility of his return this season.
I know for sure there's always a chance I can come back this season, but we'll see how my knee will respond on the ice. I'm still working a lot in the gym, and basically just getting around and shoot some pucks.
Still to come on SportsDesk, the Raptors tangle with the Spurs in San Antonio. Neil O'Donnell trades in his black and gold for green and white. And the Rough Riders hope Steve Taylor will be the answer for their offense. Those stories when SportsDesk returns.
Got you a little unhinged? Then get in on Swiss Chalet's Real Early Summer Half Side Rib Special. Medium tender summer barbecue side ribs, picnic style coleslaw, your favorite side dish, and a scrumptious slice of garlic bread. All at the sizzling summer price of just $6.75. Swiss Chalet's Half Side Rib Special. Hey, we're into it.
Let me get this straight. I can't use my phone card to phone home to Canada?
With most other cards, you can't make a long distance call to Canada or the U.S.
Then why do they call it a phone card? Yes, I'd love to ask the company that.
But with our calling card service, you can call Canada. 100 countries worldwide. Another reason our calling card is the best card, period. Just call us and get it.
Now for the NBA, and the Raptors continuing to labor through their 7-game road swing. They were in San Antonio for their first visit, hoping for better things Thursday night. The Alamo Dome certainly sat well with super rookie Damon Stoudemire in his first visit. He shone at the rookie All-Star game, and let's see if he can continue it. He's coming off a 19-assist game versus Akeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets, but the key to this game is can the Raptors stop David Robinson? And now I can relate to this. You go up for the big dunk, and you just come up a little bit short. Then things get a little bit rough. Jean Tabak and Chuck Person. Bad mistake, because you don't want to wake up Chuck Person. He'll play a sleepy game, but he wakes up. Look out. The Rifleman fires for 3. Excuse me. The Rifleman fires for 3. Must have something in my throat. The Rifleman fires for 3 again. The Rifleman with 19 points for the Spurs as they led 29 at the half. I think I've overused the nickname just a tad. And it doesn't get any better in the second half of the Raptors. Watch the Admiral here. Plenty of room over the rim this time. That was a pretty play, unless you're a Raptors fan. Robinson finished with 21 points, and San Antonio beats Toronto by 25. The Raptors' 7th straight loss, and they committed a season and franchise high, of course, 30 turnovers. Let's go to New Jersey now. Shaq and the Magic trying to improve on their sub-500 road record. First quarter, Anthony Bowie with a dish to the big man inside, and Shaq throws it down. It's real easy for Shaq when he gets in that position. Magic off to a good start. Now, he works the low post well, but so too does this guy, Penny Hardaway. Watch this. Double team, little shake and bake at the baseline. That's a fine play. 54-45. Strong power move. Speaking of strong power players, one of the NHL's best, Scott Stevens, enjoying the action. I gather we'd assume with his daughter. Third quarter now. The Magic take it to the nets. Shaq one-on-one with Sean Bradley, shrugs him aside, absolutely schools him. Then Shaq leads the fast break, and that is another pretty play. Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic pour all over New Jersey, 114 to 98. And keep in mind, they have not been great on the road, so that was a big win for them. Dennis Scott, 30 points, 8 3-pointers. Let's take a look at the rest of the scores around the NBA. The man accused of murdering Michael Jordan's father 2.5 years ago has been convicted. The jury in Lumberton, North Carolina, deliberated for just 4.5 hours before finding Daniel Green, 21 years of age, guilty. Green was found guilty on all charges: first-degree murder, first-degree robbery, and conspiracy in the July 23, 1993 attack on James R. Jordan, who was murdered as he napped in his car along the roadside. The district attorney who handled the case said Thursday that he would seek the death penalty in Green's case. Is it just me, or is there something just really not right about Neil O'Donnell signing a 5-year, $25 million contract? Neil O'Donnell signed with the Jets on Thursday, which may explain it. The Jets, of course, have hardly been astute judges of talent. O'Donnell turned down an offer from the Steelers, and one of the reasons, besides the $25 million, was the chance to return home.
It always was a dream come true to always come back here and play in front of my family in the hometown in the Meadowlands. I really didn't know when it would happen, but looking back on it and, you know, measuring the pros and cons, I look at it as, you know, this is a great opportunity for Neil O'Donnell.
We have a quarterback who's just approaching the greatest part of his career, has improved every year, has won big games, has played in big games.
I've done almost everything except win a championship there in Pittsburgh. Now I look at the Jets, and the Jets are moving in the right direction. I mean, they're going out getting players. It seems like everyone seems very excited in this building. So I look back, and it always was a dream come true to come home and play.
Defensive starter.
Neil O'Donnell. Other football news now. Natron Means, who led San Diego with over 1,300 yards rushing 2 years ago, was released Thursday in a startling move that allowed the Chargers to sign defensive end Marco Coleman to an offer sheet. And the Chargers believe they have enough depth to allow Means to go. Dispersal drafts are becoming a specialty of the Hamilton Ticats. Last year, they traded up to get quarterback Anthony Cavillo, a move that in part allowed them to deal quarterback Steve Taylor to the Ottawa Roughriders on Thursday to get, amongst other things, an extra pick in the upcoming auction of talent. And there'll be some great talent. The Roughriders pick up the 29-year-old quarterback Steve Taylor with 7 years of CFL experience. Taylor now reunites with former Ticat coach Dieter Brock, who was hired as the Riders' offensive coordinator in this offseason. Last year, Taylor shared the quarterback duties with Anthony Cavillo. Steve Taylor, now a member of the Ottawa Roughriders. He was a fine one at Nebraska. In return, the Ticats receive all-star defensive back Brent Young, a good receiver kick returner as well. The Riders also get the second pick in the upcoming dispersal draft of talent.
Steve was the odd man out, and certainly with a lot of experience in the CFL. We was with him when he was in Edmonton and in Calgary, and I brought him down here last year. I think he has the potential to be a tremendous quarterback, but right now we felt we wanted to go with AC and Mike Kerrigan as our two quarterbacks.
The effect of Taylor's acquisition means that the Riders' on-again, off-again romance with Andre Ware is off again. They released the Heisman Trophy winner on Thursday. Still ahead on TSN Sports Desk, the Expos unveil their version of the French Connection. We'll have that story for you, plus 200 of the world's fastest skaters glide into Calgary. Stay tuned.
Psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff. Symptom, persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution, Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
Winter got you a little unhinged? Then get in on Swiss Chalet's real early summer half side rib special. Medium tender summer barbecue side ribs, picnic style coleslaw, your favorite side dish, and a scrumptious slice of garlic bread. All at the sizzling price of just $6.75. Chalet's half side rib special. Hey, we're into it.
There's not really a difference in the driving style. If once you're on the edge with one car, you should be able to get on the edge with the other one. An F1 is lighter, more nimble, react quicker to anything you do on the pedals or the steering wheel. So you adapt a little bit, but it's not something completely new.
With most other cards, you have to dial a complex access code of up to 11 digits before you can even begin to dial your call.
Flight 609, departing at 6:32 for gate 26 is now boarding. With passengers approach 18:35, please present your boarding pass at gate 26.
But with our calling card service, you just press 0 before you dial your call. Another reason why our calling card is this card, period.
Last call for flight 609 at 6:32, departing from gate 26. All
psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff. Symptom, persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution, Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
Not a ton of scores to report, too, in the CHL and the OHL. In fact, it was Peterborough over Oshawa 6-2 and Windsor over Sarnia 7-4. University of Moncton hockey players have apologized to that referee they assaulted in Charlottetown last weekend. Members of the Blue Eagles said the attack on Brian Carragher was simply not acceptable or excusable. They apologized to Carragher as well as their opponents, the UPEI Panthers, the university itself, and the fans who were there. An apology, though, may not do it. Police say charges are imminent, and the AUAA expects to announce disciplinary actions within a week. New record for shortest retirement. Tony Phillips is back. He retired 2 days ago, citing family problems, but he told the Chicago White Sox that he will report on the weekend. Phillips, coming off his best season ever, had just signed a 2-year, $3.6 million contract with the White Sox. He cited family problems as his reason for quitting, but said the problems have been solved, and he will report to camp on Saturday. In terms of total fine, it was the biggest ever. In terms of cost per profanity, we're not sure. Major League Baseball issued a fine to Indians outfielder Albert Bell to the tune of $50,000. That's the largest fine ever handed out to a player. Bell spewed an assortment of profanities at NBC's Hannah Storm prior to Game 3 of the World Series. As the Expos embark on another season, they once again face the daunting task of bringing new fans out to the Big O. Even good results don't always do that. The Expos know that one proven way is to feature some local talent, and Derek Aucoin may help in that area. Michael Whalen has the story.
He's been the center of attention, drawing a large following whenever he pitches since the beginning of camp. That's because Derek Aucoin is the first native son pitcher in 20 years to come up through the Expos system and be invited to their major league camp. And it looks like the big 6'7" hard-throwing right-hander has a chance of making it, not in his accustomed capacity as a closer, but probably as a middle reliever.
It's not the role I've been accustomed to over the past year and in Ottawa and in the Arizona Fall League, but I mean, you got to get your experience somewhere, huh? It's a long season, a lot of things, injuries and player moves and everything like that, so a lot of things can happen.
The key for Aucoin will be how he handles the pressure of the constant scrutiny that he'll see over the next few weeks. Fortunately, he has a fellow Francophone on the team that can empathize with the situation.
He's in one of those situations where he's young, and he's just learning, and you know, hopefully that we can talk about it and try to keep a positive image about what you have to do on the field.
In 1969, the year the franchise began, Claude Raymond became the first Quebecer to play for the Expos, but his career was winding down by the early 70s. Today, he's a broadcaster for SRC and sees a different kind of pressure for the likes of Cormier and Aucoin.
Not because of the media, but everywhere they're going to go. They're going to go grocery shopping, they're going to go downtown. Everybody's going to recognize them, and they're going to say, hey, what happened last night, and what are you going to do? And I think that's the biggest concern that I would have right now if I was a French-Canadian coming up to the big leagues.
So far, he's had a very good camp. He's picked up where he's left off in Arizona. We still have some delivery flaws that we have to contain before we send him out there in a game.
It's pretty simple. The way I look at it is if I go out there and I do a good job, I'm going to be part of the team. And if I have a bad outing or 2 bad outings, I could kiss the team goodbye for the beginning of the year. So, I mean, that's not too much pressure. I have my goals, I have my objectives, and I have a pretty good plan of what I want to accomplish here.
After 6 years in the minor leagues, Aucoin figures that he's paid his dues. Somehow, some way, he wants to be part of the major league experience. As if he didn't have enough on his mind, Aucoin is here in camp trying to learn a new stance and a new delivery. A stance that will be less stressful on his shoulder. That's a shoulder that had him out of baseball for a full year. Michael Whalen, TSN in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Thanks, Michael. Time for our Wendy's highlight of the night, and I mean, where are we going to go? We're going to go to Vancouver, of course, for Wayne Gretzky in his debut for the St. Louis Blues. It's already 1-0 in the first period. Gretzky in the breakaway, and he has always had a flair for the dramatic, and he shows it one more time. Great to see the smile back for Wayne Gretzky. Take a look at it one more time. Gretzky's first goal as a Blue is our Wendy's highlight of the night.
The highlight of the night has been brought to you by Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers.
cheese world.
Feta cheese is big, Dave.
Anything else?
Try the pepper jack.
Wow, this would spice up a bacon cheeseburger. Give me 1,000 pounds, sliced.
Okay.
And spice it up he did. It's Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger. A quarter pound of fresh ground beef, spicy pepper jack cheese, 3 strips of bacon, and the perfect sauce.
Great cheeseburger, Dave.
Sure beats feta.
Sure beats feta.
I just said that.
Come try Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger today. Dave has a dilemma. What to put on Wendy's new bacon cheeseburger?
Dave, something mild. Play it safe. Come on, don't be a wimp. Give it some zing. Oh no, Gouda would be nice.
Spice it up. How about pepper jack?
Oh my.
Well, Dave started cooking. A quarter pound of fresh ground beef, bacon, the perfect sauce, and a slice of pepper jack cheese for a bacon cheeseburger that's really spicy.
Oh, Dave, be careful. Mind your own business. Attaboy.
Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger.
Gotta be the cheese.
In the old days, plumbing was pretty easy to understand. But now, at Home Hardware, we have over 900 neighborhood stores with thousands of plumbing parts. We can help you solve just about any plumbing problem, from the simplest to the biggest. And if things get out of hand, we can help you there too.
Great price, friendly advice at Home Hardware.
Did you remember to turn off the tap?
Introducing the new Civic hatchback from Honda. The best new economy car of the year. So easy to get into and in and out of.
Lee Jansen reeled off 6 straight birdies on his way to a 9-under 63 on Thursday. That's good enough for a one-shot lead. After the opening round of the Doral Ryder Open, 33 players failed to qualify or at least complete the opening round due to fog. The best speed skaters in the world are in Calgary this weekend for a World Cup meet that begins on Friday. They'll be racing around the speed skating oval at the University of Calgary. This oval really brings out the speed in speed skating, and that suits the Canadian team just fine. Lisa Bose reports.
The oval ice is as fast as ever, and the facility is ready to handle close to 200 of the world's best skaters. In most cases, the all-rounders and the sprinters are separated in competitions, but not for this event, which means great exposure for the Canadian long-distance specialists, who typically take a back seat to the successful sprinters. But this weekend, they are expecting some results. Watch for 3-year veteran Ingrid Lipa, Canada's best all-round skater, and Neil Marshall, currently tied for the overall lead in the men's 1,500 meters.
I know we did so many good races already here, but now with everyone else we want to do even better to show them it's not just a fluke that we did well. So I hope everybody keeps the nerves together and just skate like they can skate.
As for the shorter distances, look for Canadian record holder Mike Ireland in the 500 meters, while the men's 1,000 meters should be interesting. 4 Canadians have a shot at the world record. While on the women's side, Catriona Lemay-Doan, world champion in the 500 meters, hopes to finish her breakthrough year in style.
I have a pretty good grasp on second spot, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's nice to be on the ice, the fastest ice in the world, and I'd love to do a personal best. We'll have to see how I feel on the weekend.
As for Susan Ock, this was an off year. The Olympic silver medalist experiencing knee problems in addition to the pressure of repeating her record-breaking performance of last year. Not to mention the expectations that came with the retirement of American rival Bonnie Blair. Ock is in a regrouping mode, looking ahead to Nagano.
I'm fortunate it happened this year. I mean, if it had been last year, I would have missed the opportunity to compete with Bonnie all year, and next year it's pre-Olympic year, and that would be pretty stressful. So, I have a pre-Olympic year and then the Olympics, so I have a ton of time to recover from that.
This final World Cup event of the season gets underway Friday morning. We are expecting several world records to be broken here. The Canadians with a great shot at a few of them, and I will have daily reports for you on SportsDesk throughout the entire weekend. Lisa Bose, TSN, Calgary.
The CIAU named its top players for men's volleyball on Thursday. Laval's Francois Bilodeau, who has been a first-team All-Canadian 3 straight years, has been named the Player of the Year. Manitoba's Dan Lewis was named Rookie of the Year, and Sherbrooke's Glenn Hogue was the top coach. Meanwhile, the women are down to the Final Four as UBC, Laval, Winnipeg, and Alberta all advanced with quarterfinal victories. Laval will face UBC while Winnipeg faces Alberta in semifinal action on Friday. And a reminder, TSN will be the place to be for coverage. Women's final on Saturday, men's final on Sunday. Big weekend of volleyball. And that is our show. For everybody at TSN, I'm Michael Landsberg. Thanks a lot for joining us on TSN Sports Desk, and we'll see you next time. So long.
TSN is on the internet. You can visit us at our website, www.tsn.ca, or you can contact SportsDesk directly at sportsdesk@tsn.ca. You can also stay completely informed by calling the TSN Sports Info line at 1-900-451-6636.
This is TSN.
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, this is TSN, Coast to Coast.
This is TSN Inside Sports. Originally, it was game number 806 on the NHL schedule, but now it's much more than that. St. Louis at Vancouver means Wayne Gretzky's Day Blue. Mike Keenan, the coach, gets to utilize the asset provided by Mike Keenan, the GM. Welcome to TSN Inside Sports. I'm Dave Hodge. There are 21 games left on the St. Louis Blues regular season schedule, and the 20 that follow tonight's game in Vancouver offer the same 2 points to the winner as this one does. But still, it can be said that this one is special. This one is Wayne Gretzky's first game for St. Louis. He wants to make an immediate impact, and the next 20 should go better if the first one goes well. For that matter, a win tonight would give the Blues a 3-point edge over the Canucks for fourth place in the NHL's Western Conference. Gretzky was not doing any extended interviews on this game day, but you will be seeing him and hearing from him later tonight on TSN as our pregame coverage begins at 9:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Pacific. You get your first chance to analyze the latest trade made by Mike Keenan, who had already shaped the Blues roster, reshaped it to his own specifications about as quickly as you can turn over 20-some players, and then came the Gretzky deal to put an entirely different spin on the transformation. Here's Rod Smith to outline how the St. Louis Blues have become the Mike Keenan Blues.
Mike Keenan inherited a St. Louis Blues team that had won 7 more games than it lost in '93-94, but then failed to win a playoff game. The Blues were swept in 4 straight by the Dallas Stars. That team featured twin 50-goal shooters Brett Hull and Brendan Shanahan, playmaking center Craig Janney, and goalie Curtis Joseph. Only Hull remains from that group, and in fact, only 2 other members of the entire team have survived the ongoing Keenan purge. They are defenseman Murray Barron and tough guy Basil McRae, who's been on the injured list for much of this season. Janney played only 8 games under Keenan, and after a public squabble with the coach, Janney quit the team, later to be traded to San Jose for defenseman Jeff Norton. Like several other players who've been acquired and then sent packing by Keenan in less than a year, Norton is now an Edmonton Oiler in a deal that brought Igor Kravchuk and Ken Sutton to St. Louis. Shanahan and Joseph helped the Blues to a good regular season in the year of the lockout, but again, St. Louis suffered a first-round playoff defeat. Not good enough for Keenan, who lowered the boom on 2 of the fan favorites. Shanahan was shipped to Hartford for young defenseman Chris Pronger, who continues to be a Keenan project that may or may not pan out. Joseph became property of the Edmonton Oilers when, in a roundabout way, he was used as payment for the signing of free agent Shane Corson. Other free agent signings dominated the rest of Keenan's summertime '95 makeover. Goalie Grant Fuhrer and forwards Dale Hawerchuk, Jeff Courtnall, and Brian Noonan were added to the St. Louis payroll. Peter Zezel, Mike Hudson, and Tony Twist or others signed from the open market by Keenan. Like Noonan, Zezel, and Hudson, who played under Keenan elsewhere, current Blues Stéphane Matteau, Greg Gilbert, and Adam Creighton seem to follow Iron Mike wherever he goes. They all played for him in Chicago, and Matteau, Gilbert, Hudson, Noonan, and defenseman Jay Wells helped Keenan's New York Rangers win the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. J.J. Dagno and Rob Pearson are other St. Louis Blues acquired in Keenan trades. Oh, and one other player who'll be in action tonight, Wayne Gretzky. It seems apparent that the biggest of all the Keenan deals in St. Louis will have a lot to say about how all the others turn out. For TSN Inside Sports, I'm Rod Smith.